How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Manatee Gaming. So today is video number 29 in the 30-day video challenge. It's really exciting because tomorrow is day 30. So that means that this challenge is going to be pretty much over. This is actually probably the last video that is going to be like a video about me talking about other stuff beyond like our big event tomorrow. So tomorrow is really just going to be about like the event coverage. Like I'm going to be covering like I'm just going to be showing like video and everything from our event. So I'm really excited about that, and so tomorrow's not even going to really feel like I'm like having to make a video, because it's just going to be so much fun to make. So and I'm going to be able to see a lot of people from the channel and actually at the event. So just a reminder, tomorrow it is 2200, and then it is also 2200 game time, by the way. And it is also going to be at Party Pete's. So please join up at Party Pete's. You're going to want to be there a little bit before 2200. I'm probably going to show up there a little bit before 2200 also. So the main reason there is because I want to actually get started at 2200, because I know there's a lot of people that are not going to have a lot of time and everything with like their in real life stuff going on. So I want to be able to get as many people involved as possible. Remember, if you want to sign up for like the events and everything in there, then please do. It's very simple. All you gotta do is hit the like on the video, make sure that you're a subscriber, and then leave your RuneScape name in the comments below so we know you're real. That's really it. If you're wondering why people were doing that like on the previous videos, that's why. They were just entering for the competitions and stuff like that. So like I said, there's going to be a drop party at Party Pete's in the beginning. There's also going to be some trivia, and then we're going to be having a giant wilderness war. We might do some other things. It really depends on the amount of time, but I know for sure we're going to be doing those three things. I'm going to try to do the like drop party, like Party Pete style, literally. So we're going to try to put them. I'll be honest with you. I'll be really honest with you. I have not been to Party Pete's area in a long time, so that's another reason why I'm going to go there early. Hopefully you can still do it the way you did it before, where you like put the items in the box, everybody can see what's in the box, and then they just drop in the balloons. I'm hoping that's the way it still is. I would assume it is, but anyway, like I said before, the people have been making donations, which is really awesome. All the donations people have made are going to be going into the drop party itself. We have donations from Kenneth Giffen. He's one of the members here on the channel. He's also one of the members on the Patreon. He's that guy I was talking about in previous videos that was the #1 supporter. We also have donations from Magic Carp. So Magic Carp donated a very large amount. I'm very, very thankful to Magic Carp. So, big thanks to them for a lot of the stuff that's being given. By the way, Giffen actually gave a whole lot of different items, or a whole lot of different weapons for the big wilderness war. So, a little brief description, just in case you missed in the last one. What's going to be happening in the wilderness war, guys, is we're all going to be going out there as a big group. You need to remember to not bring anything with you. That means like deposit everything, deposit all your items, deposit all your inventory, deposit any GP. You don't want to take a risk of losing anything in the wilderness, because we are going in the wilderness. You're probably going to be skulled, and you're probably going to die. So just letting you know right there, don't bring anything. And also, don't bring anything, because if me or any of the other cheat moderators that are going to be out there are going to be watching to make sure people aren't bringing things out there, just don't do it. It ruins the fun. That's honestly, it's all about being fun, so just don't bring anything out there. You don't really need to bring anything out there, because what we're going to be doing is kind of like I just said about the weapons that were donated. The weapons are going to be just dropped all over the ground. We're going to have other items being dropped all over the ground, like food and potions and stuff. And we're just going to be dropping tons of stuff all over the ground. So you guys, it's going to be kind of like, if you guys have ever played the deathmatch minigame on RuneScape, where basically, you go over and you pick up like a power up and everything like that. It's going to be very similar. It's kind of like a Fight Club type experience where people just pick up whatever they find on the ground and start beating the other player with it. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, so we've also got some cool things too. Part of what he donated actually was Bandos God Swords. So we actually have 2 Bandos God Swords, I believe. I believe it's 2 Bandos God Swords. We've got some Dragon 2-handed swords. It's going to be pretty awesome. Also, there's going to be PKers. There always is. There's always PKers. And in light of the recent drama on the channel, probably PKers from that stuff too. So, as far as like the PKers go, actually, it's free game. It's free game. If you actually get attacked by a PKer, sorry, man, that's part of the fun. That's part of the fun, is avoiding all the obstacles, and they happen to be one of the obstacles. So there you go. The last thing I want to mention about that, and this is just because I don't want to have. I'm actually going to tell you all, guys, all the information about the the Wilderness War right now. That way tomorrow, I don't have to tell you guys all the rules and everything because it's going to be right here. Because this is going to be the last time, I can't believe I'm saying this, that you guys are actually going to be able to hear about the Wilderness events and everything going on tomorrow before it happens. Quick rules about the Wilderness War, because I'm kind of on that topic right now. Don't bring anything with you. That way you don't lose anything. You know, you're not upset about losing anything, blah, blah, blah. Also, don't return after you die. Because at the end of the event, we're all going to go back down to Edgeville, and then the winners are going to get the prizes. Do not bring anything with you, and do not return to the fight. There are going to be people watching to make sure people don't return to the fight. Just don't do it. Because if you do it, you get disqualified, so that's not really fun. Also, what are the prizes going to be? So the prizes are going to be free passes on the Patreon. And now I say free, everybody always asks this, and I'm going to let you guys know how this goes. They are free passes for Patreon as far as I'm concerned. I don't get anything from the pass that you guys sign up for. The passes do cost $1 on that Patreon page. And the reason why is because Patreon will not allow me to make a pass below $1 because they have to pay their processing fees and all that other stuff. So it is $1. There could be taxes on there if you've got like VAT, you know, stuff like that on the $1. So keep that in mind, guys, that I'm not getting anything. And I'm not getting literally anything from that. But that's just their policy that I can't put it for less than $1. So what passes you're going to be getting? Passes you're going to be getting, guys, are going to be like bigger passes. I'm going to be giving out like some $40 passes, some $41 passes, and stuff like that. So it's going to be as if you were donating 40 or 41 onto the channel. So that's pretty awesome. You know, you guys are just going to get all the gifts from the donations without having to make the donations. So yeah, there you go. That's part of the passes. That's part of the rewards. Also, part of the rewards is going to be just money. Yeah, lots of GP. So if you win some of the trivia events, you're going to get some GP stuff. It's going to be pretty standard. It's a pretty standard event type thing, in all honesty. But we're just going to be, you know, we're going to be celebrating the 30-day event here, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, guys. So the one last thing I want to say is that if you do have donations that you would like to, oh man, hiccups again. Every time I make a video, man, every time. If you guys want to make any further donations to the event, I would actually encourage you to just go ahead and bring it with you, and then put it in the Party Pete Dropbox now. Because we've only got one day left, and I might not be able to meet up with people and everything like that. And then so you can actually just go ahead and put your own donations into the Party Pete Dropbox in that way. I'd highly recommend that you pick, like, say you wanted to donate like 10 million gold to the party and everything like that. I would highly recommend that you just put it in like separate items. That way it makes more items in the Party Pete Dropbox. So that's the end of that for there, guys, and let's get on to the actual video. So this is the 30-day challenge video, the last one, the last main one for information. So one of the most frequent questions that I've been getting asked lately, this is extremely frequent actually. I get asked this question like 5 times a day at least, and that's not even counting how many times I get asked it in the clan chat. So as you know, I like to answer people's questions with a video if possible. So in this video, I'll be talking about investments or flips for a boss release. So we've got some new bosses coming up here with the Menaphos bosses and stuff like that. We got like the Slayer boss. We got the Ambassador. I'm pretty sure he's still going to be called that. And so people have been asking, you know, what are some good things to invest in? What are some things that you know, that I could be buying into? And typically when people ask that, I just ask them what they were already thinking about, you know, picking up, or what they'd already invested into, and then I can give my honest opinion on what I think, you know, if I think those are good or not. So in general, what I've been telling people, by the way, is that it's a very high risk thing. That's something you guys have to understand. It is very high risk. The reason why is because these bosses could come out, and then you might not even need any of these items that you're investing into. And then, you know, the bosses could come out, and then Jagex has another update that makes it so that whatever you invest in is not worth it, and you lose money. So understand before I say any of this that there's a high risk. This is a high risk one. So what I can start out by saying is this. We have historical evidence that promotes the belief that you can earn some good money on an investment before a boss comes out. We have historical evidence of like when Araxor came out, when Telos came out, when you know, like whenever like the big harder bosses came out, you know, certain items rose. So you can actually look in the historical information in the graphs for these items, and you can see what has improved in price. You know, what spiked because of the release of the boss. So given that information, we've got some items that are good items that could be invested into, and these are stuff that people have already asked me, and these are not like you know, stuff that's like, oh, this is kind of off the wall. It's stuff like Ceradamine Brews. It's stuff like Super Restorers. It's stuff like Prayer Potions, components for overloads, maybe some Yak pouches, maybe Steel Titan pouches. These are all things that are typical stuff that goes up when a boss is released. Maybe Niles, like the Nile pouches. Those are other things that can go up. There's a lot of different things, and I can't really honestly tell you what I feel like would be like the thing that would the most likely to go up. I would honestly, if I had to pick something, I'd probably say Ceradamine Brews. Now the reason why I say Ceradamine Brews is because Ceradamine Brews in the previous have been the one that was like the shining star for what went up. You know, with like Araxor, Telos, and stuff like that, they went to like 30,000 or more. With AOD, they went to like 30,000 or more. And they're currently sitting around, I believe, like 22,000 or something like that. They've been fluctuating quite a bit. I'm talking about the flask, by the way. And so there's quite a bit of room for growth there. And then the good thing about Ceradamine Brews, by the way, is the fact that they don't really have much of a chance of going less than what they are, because they typically don't really go less than like 20 to 22,000. So the chances of loss in those is actually very low too, which is another reason why I like those. But really, any of those things I just listed are great things, and other things that I haven't listed that are just like, you know, your standard boss equipment is also great things. So just think about what you guys bring to a boss, and then those are all things that you possibly could invest into. But yeah, my response to most people has been like, yeah, those items make sense, but you should just be aware that it's high risk. And that's really the best answer I can give you guys, because we just don't have too much more information to really be able to make like a more educated investment with this. Also, another thing people have been asking about is Keys to the Crossing. So Keys to the Crossing is one that I've been asked frequently about. You know, should I invest in Keys to the Crossing in order to maybe they're going to go up with this boss release or whatever. So here's my opinion on Keys to the Crossing. My opinion on them is they're extremely high risk, even higher risk. Well, way higher risk than the other stuff I mentioned. The reason why I say that, and this is actually backed up by some evidence, is because Jagex has actually made them more common. They actually implemented a ninja fix, or like a patch, whatever you want to call it, where they actually made Keys to the Crossing more common for drops on and off task. Now, why would they do that? Now you have to ask yourself, why would they do that? And then when you know the answer to that question, that's when you know why they're high risk. So the answer to that question, guys, is because Jagex wants them to be easier to get. Jagex does not want them to be super hard to get and super expensive. Yes, that's what it translates into. Jagex does not want them to be expensive. That's what they're saying. So if you think that they can't make them go down more, that's definitely not true. They can definitely implement things to make it so that you know, that they are even easier to get, or you know, maybe we don't need as many of them or whatever. So that's why I say Keys to the Crossing are extremely high risk, because they could spike up, and there's a good chance they will. But they could also be just hammered down by Jagex themselves, because the updates they come out with. Now, I personally, if you want my personal opinion on Jagex's changing of the Keys to the Crossing drop rate, I would personally say that I believe that it was a good idea, because just like the keystones for Ascensions, it's not really fun if you had to pay a whole lot of money to be able to get one entry to the boss fight. I mean, that's really expensive. If we're going by Keys to the Crossing prices right now, which are anywhere from 1.5 million to 1.7 million each, they've been fluctuating right around in that area. 1.7 million gold in order for me to go fight a boss one time where I might die, that's kind of rough. That's a lot of money, because if you also include how much you are already spending on supplies, the time that you're spending going to kill that boss would have to have some ridiculous drops in order to make it worth your time. Which then brings out the next thing, and that is, if the boss has some ridiculous drops, then is that really beneficial to our game economy? Because that means that aside from the, like weapon drops or whatever, like the big like new item drops that it could have, what if it has like a large drop of like some skilling supplies or whatever? That can actually damage like some more value in the skilling supplies. Jagex brought up something previously, which was like, we're going to try to make skilling supplies things where we're going to try to make it so that people actually gather skilling supplies themselves again, and not so much for monster drops. The reason why is because the economy is kind of shot because of the fact that you can get U-logs from anything. I mean, you can go fight bosses and get U-logs. You can go do divine locations and get U-logs. Why would anybody even want to chop a U-tree in order to get U-logs? So with that being said, I don't really see it being beneficial if they were to make it so that they had like overpowered resource drops in order to make up for the fact that you're spending 1.7 million gold on a key. So that's my honest opinion on that one. That's my honest opinion about the risk involved in investing in that kind of stuff for this one. It's definitely a chance where you guys can make some money. That's for sure. I can't really give you guys any more information beyond like what I've kind of given you here. So as far as like more specific things, not really. But like I said, if they do end up nerfing the keys, like, well, not really nerfing them, but making them more common, making them more easy to get, it could actually be a good thing for the economy, because it could make it so that the drops don't have to be as like ridiculous. Obviously, if they've got new weapon drops and armor drops or stuff like that, that's going to make up for it also. So we can kind of see how that goes. Well, anyway, guys, not trying to make this a 20-minute video, but thank you guys for all your recent support on the channel. You guys have been really awesome. Thank you so much for the subscribers. We're almost to 7,000 subscribers. This is pretty amazing. It's actually getting somewhat close to being 10,000, which I wasn't sure if I was ever going to reach 10,000 on RuneScape. On RuneScape content on YouTube. And I'm not calling it early. We're definitely not at 7,000, but if the fact that we're not 10,000, but the fact that we're getting close to that is pretty awesome. It's got me really excited about this. So anyway, I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. I'll also see you guys in tomorrow's event. If you guys have any more questions about tomorrow's event, you can feel free to put in the comments below. Also, like I said, sign up for the event and everything by doing the things I said before. Like the video, subscribe, and put your name down below. And I will see you guys tomorrow at 2200 game time. You guys have a wonderful rest of the day.